When it comes to chest training, there is a tendency for things to get unnecessarily complicated. Remember that classic Arnold clip? This is still common. You hear people talk about needing 5 different angles, a fly movement for the upper, inner, lower, pseudo, deep clavicular fibers, and at least 300 sets per week to grow. And sure, if you're a competitive bodybuilder, there is a grain of truth to doing more work to get more out of your training. But if you're someone who just wants a bigger, stronger looking chest without spending your entire gym session doing all sorts of stuff, the good news is that it doesn't have to be that complicated. In fact, you can make amazing chest gains with as little as 4 to 8 hard sets per week, as long as you're somewhat smart about it. But let's break it down, baby. 1, as we've said a million times on this channel, and I'll keep saying it, you don't need as much volume as you think to make meaningful gains. I've said this a million times, but it is very common to hear about the traditional chest day or chest workout involving 300 different exercises, a flat bench, an incline bench, a different type of cable fly with a dumbbell, a decline bench, whatever. That's not necessarily true. As long as you target the main function of the chest and you hit it hard with a few hard sets, you are in growth mode. The current literature in trained, untrained, moderately trained, highly trained, in all sorts of individuals confirms this. You can grow well on 4 to 8 sets per muscle group per week, as long as those are taken close to failure. We're talking about sets that are not, I'm working kind of hard sets, but sets that are honest, taken within a rep or to a failure, or ideally to failure. And to be clear, this is not me making up some random Mike Menzer wisdom or telling you, yeah, they were right, that's all you need. But rather further highlighting the fact that the literature does show that you can make amazing gains with low volumes. Sure, not enough to maximize gains, but amazing gains are still possible. This is as evidence-based as it gets. So instead of thinking that you need to do all sorts of chest exercises in a single session, all you need is 2 exercises. 30 minutes or so, and you are done with your weekly chest work to be in growth mode. The first exercise, the incline chest press, either on a machine or with dumbbells. If there's one movement that I'd pick for you to cover 80% of your chest training needs, is the incline chest press. Incline pressing, whether again with dumbbells or a machine or even a barbell, is somewhat better at hitting the entire chest than just a flat press alone. It's a slightly better option when trying to do the least amount of work possible for your chest. In my opinion, the incline press is a much better option since it will bias the upper chest a bit more, which is often a lagging area for many people who really want to grow their chest. Now, let's be clear, flat benching is not bad. It's just not the most efficient option for most people that are chasing time-efficient gains. In addition to hitting your upper chest, an incline chest press variation will also involve the front delts and the triceps, which is helpful if you're trying to be relatively minimal about your training. It's a bang for your buck compound exercises. Allow me to note that I do have a preference for the machine chest press because it's relatively idiot-proof. It locks your body in position, lets you safely take sets close to failure without needing a spotter, and removes a lot of the balance or stabilization components that may actually make things a bit difficult for you. The other practical bonus here is that when you're tired, when your motivation is low, or when you're in the gym after a long work day, the machine chest press is much easier to show up for. No setup needed, no barbell in your chest, no need to do anything. Just sit down and start pressing. As simple as that. The ultra minimalist could just do 4 sets of incline chest pressing per week, in addition to the other exercise that I'll mention in a second. However, the person who wants a relatively minimal chest training setup but has a bit more time to spend could do 8 sets of incline chest pressing per week. Those could be split in 2 sessions. Obviously, you could also do just 6 sets or 7 sets or 5 sets. As long as you're at 4+ sets of incline chest pressing per week, you're covered. You could split those in 2 sessions, have it all in 1 session. It doesn't really matter as long as you do them every week. The current limit, and that's in quotations, for productive training within a single session is roughly 11 sets per muscle group per session. So even if you were to do them all in 1 session, you're covered. However, we do have another exercise that I want to highlight that I think is worth including if you're trying to absolutely blast your chest and do that in the simplest way possible. At this point, allow me to note that the incline chest press alone is enough for your chest to grow. But if you want to make sure that you're actually hitting your chest and your front delts or triceps are not doing more work than you want them to, I would also recommend adding an isolation chest exercise. And one of the easiest ways to make sure that your pecs are actually getting the work they deserve and not just your triceps and shoulders, it's to include a fly variation in your program. Flies are one of the few ways where you can train the pecs in pure horizontal adduction, bringing your arms together across your chest, which literally trains the chest's primary function. And here are 3 fly options that you can choose from depending on your personal preference. Cable flies are a great and relatively versatile option. Obviously, you can adjust the cable in order to get different resistance curves, make it feel as comfortable as you want it for your own anthropometric characteristics. I know people that have issues with their shoulders that need to make those adjustments. Cable flies in general are a great option if you fit that category. The next option is machine flies now, or pec deck. Depending on the gym that you go to, those can either be great or meh. There are many pec decks out there that are mostly a shortened contraction. There's not much stretch allowed and there's really no tension at the stretch. So if you only have access to that pec deck, I would recommend against it, although it's not the end of the world. However, if your gym has a rear delt slash chest fly machine, that's where you can play with a range of motion. You can have an amazing stretch. It's a very easy machine to set up and you can actually blast your chest with an amazing stretch and get close to failure in a very easy way. Lastly, the exercise that I recommend to a lot of people, especially those who train with minimal equipment, is the dumbbell fly. The dumbbell fly gives you a lot of tension in the stretch. It's obviously very easy to set up and do. You can still train close to failure or to failure in a safe manner. Obviously, you might have to drop the dumbbells on your sides, but it's not really a big deal. However, for some people, including myself, dumbbell flies can feel awkward on your shoulders if they are a bit fatigued. In that case, you have the other two options to select from, or any other fly variation that you can come up with. For example, ring flies. I do think that most people will go for one of these three options, but hey, I'm being open-minded here. What can I say? Adding just 2 or 3 sets of flies after your presses can be an amazing way for you to do more chest volume, isolate your chest, and in general, get a lot of stimulus in a short time and be 100% sure that you are indeed blasting your chest, at least in the framework of a minimum effective dose approach. At this point, allow me to note that some of you out there may not want to just do 2 exercises and may want to mix things up. That's totally fine. A more varied, simple weekly setup could look something like day 1, incline machine press and cable fly. Day 2, incline dumbbell press and pec deck machine. 4 to 8 sets of pressing, 2 to 3 sets of flies, repeated twice a week, and you are covered. Allow me to note that if you do end up doing the maximum amount that I just recommended, you are beyond minimum effective dose, which is totally fine. You will get more growth, but at the same time, keep in mind that you could stay at the low end and still be absolutely fine in terms of meaningful growth. The simplest way to grow your chest aside though, if you do want to specialize in chest training, whether that's bringing up your upper chest, working on your lower chest, or just getting more out of a few exercises, MyAdapt can do all that for you. It's basically a smart coach in your pocket. You tell it your goals and it builds a program that adapts to you. It can help you pick the best chest exercise for your setup, suggest alternatives when needed, and keep your training as time efficient as you need it to be. You can give it a go for 2 weeks for free using code DRPAK. Check it out at myadapt.com. And if you want to take it a step further and have me personally select your exercises, tweak your program, and guide your chest training directly, you can book a free intro call at drpak.com. Bonus for those that want even more. This is turning into some high volume propaganda all of a sudden. I tricked you into believing this is a minimum effective dose video. But in all seriousness, you could throw some deficit push-ups whenever you remember, or some regular push-ups, or some dips. Again, you don't even need to do that every week, but when you have time, if you want to blast your chest and you're at home or wherever, or you're in the gym, or you're at a park, or you are at some street workout environment all of a sudden, because that totally happens in real life, you could blast out a few sets of deficit push-ups and dips. It's fun. We do it all the time. It's not going to cost you much time. And if you do find yourself wanting to prioritize your chest and you're short on time and you're at home sitting contemplating what you should do with your day, bust out a few sets of push-ups. Worst case scenario, you get too jacked for your family, they start hating you, they leave you, and you end up homeless, but with a big chest. So nice chest, homeless guy. But again, these are optional, not required. The core of your simple chest program doesn't need to be more than an incline press, a fly variation, 1 or twice per week, a total of roughly 8 sets across both exercises, all taken near failure, and that's it. I hope you found this video helpful. Remember that things do not need to be complicated. You just need to train hard and do that for long periods of time. I hope videos like this can help you get in the gym, get what matters, get the important boxes ticked off, and allow you to be consistent in the long term. Because hard training for long periods of time is much better than you trying to fit in the most optimal of training programs, but end up stopping the gym for 1 or 2 months just because life gets in the way. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe. myadapt.com, DRPAK for 2 weeks free trial, and DRPAK code on rascalapparel.com, which I'm not wearing right now. I'm wearing the opposition. I am sorry, Omar. And DRPAK.com if you want to work with me. I'll see you guys next time.